to leave, helping others to safety. And the harrowing story of one Coloradan who was there for it all. New at 9, the security measures now in place from Denver to D.C. in the wake of today's violence.
We had an election that was stolen from us.
And the breaking news involving President Trump reports that his own cabinet is discussing invoking the 25th Amendment to have him removed from office, as one Colorado lawmaker calls for him to be impeached again. And as the commander-in-chief is banished from Twitter and Facebook tonight, we'll tell you why. And find out what happens now after today's chaos at the Capitol. A very busy night. We start with this new video of the chaos at our nation's capital sent to us by a Coloradan who was part of it all.
Tonight, the Capitol is secure and open again, with many members of Congress rethinking their stance on the election and their allegiance to President Trump.
And the breaking news live from Washington right now as we watch the Senate and House back in session tonight at this late hour to certify the Electoral College. Lawmakers saying the mob did not win.
Minutes ago, Vice President Pence announcing the Senate has rejected the objection to Arizona's results. Many Republicans changing their votes tonight, saying enough is enough.
Colorado's delegation was, of course, inside the Capitol when the mob stormed in. Right now, they are back to have their voices heard. Fox 31's Matt Morrow live with more on that. Matt.
But Jeremy, they sure are, as that's what they were doing this morning when the chaos and the violence erupted at the U.S. Capitol. All of the senators and representatives simply cannot believe what happened today right here on American soil. Chaos at the Capitol as a mob of rioters forced their way inside one of the most secure buildings in America. Just as Congress is debating a count and certification of states' electoral votes.
I think it's terrible. The House floor had been breached. We were moving heavy objects like credenzas in front of the doors.
Colorado Congressman Ken Buck, a Republican who was not going to object to the electoral votes, was inside and helped move furniture to barricade the doors where violent rioters were on the other side. Meanwhile, Congressman and former Army Ranger Jason Crow was above him in the gallery and says he basically went back into Ranger mode when he and others were trapped inside for about 20 minutes. And another Colorado Congressman, Joe Neguse, had finished speaking just before the violent interruption.
The violence that unfolded, it's, the images that I've now seen over the course of today are images that I certainly never imagined I'd see in the United States of America.
All of Colorado's senators and representatives were eventually evacuated. Then hours later, armed Capitol police officers escorted them back to continue the electoral vote hearing.
The House will be in order.
That's where Senator Michael Bennet gave an impassioned speech directed to lawmakers who repeatedly told Americans the presidential election was rigged and stolen, even though they have presented no credible evidence to prove it.
If you turned a blind eye to conspiracy theory,